Shree Jagannath Temple Administration of Odisha has got trademark rights over two sacred names, that is Patitapabana and Ananda Bajara. Patitapabana is a Sanskrit word which means savior of the fallen. The prasad is distributed to devotees at a place known as Ananda Bajara. The southern gate is known as the Ashwadwara and the northern gate is called as the Hastidwara. Chariot festival, that is the Rath Yatra. This Jagannath temple is also considered within one of the four dhams of Hindu pilgrimage. Hello everyone. Imagine a situation if someone is selling a product using a sacred symbol of Lord Jagannath temple, or if someone is claiming to offer Mahaprasad using temple's name who has no connection to the temple. So in this case, can temples of India protect their sacred identity? Yes. For the very first time, a temple shrine of India has got trademark rights. So recently, Shree Jagannath Temple Administration of Odisha has got trademark rights over two sacred names, that is Patitapabana and Ananda Bajara, and a sacred symbol known as Nila Chakra. What does it mean? It basically means now the temple administration could stop the misuse, misrepresentation of these two sacred names and sacred symbol without their authorization. Now let's understand the meaning of these two sacred names, that is Patitapabana and Ananda Bajara. Patitapabana is a Sanskrit word which means savior of the fallen. What does it mean? If I dissect the word Patitapabana, Patita here basically means sinner and Pavana here means purifier. So Lord Jagannath is considered as the purifier of sinner. Many devotees know Patitapabana as a form of Lord Jagannath which is visible without entering the temple premises through the eastern gate known as Singhadwar or the Lion Gate. Why? Historically, many people who could not enter the temple premises would offer their prayers to Lord Jagannath, that is Patitapavana, through the eastern gate. Now, what is Ananda Bajara? Any one of you who would have visited Lord Jagannath Temple in Puri would know what is Ananda Bajara. Ananda Bajara is a sacred area within the temple premises wherein the Mahaprasad, which is offered to Mahaprabhu Lord Jagannath along with his brother and sister, the prasad is distributed to devotees at a place known as Ananda Bajara. And that is the significance of these two words. Now, these two words have got protection of words, that is wordmark, which means now no one can misuse these words. No one can use these words commercially without the authorization of temple administration. Now, there is a logo named as Nila Chakra. So Nila Chakra is basically a 8-spoked metal wheel which is placed atop the temple, which is not just an architectural element. It is basically the most iconic cultural symbol of Odisha. Now, many times the symbol was getting misused. Now, with the trademark protection or the protection of logo mark, no one can misuse this symbol without the authorization of temple administration. Now, what is the significance of the trademark which has been given to the temple administration of Jagannath Temple? Trademarks, if I ask you a question, don't you feel it is something which what companies get? Absolutely right. But trademarks are usually given to protect something's unique identity. So the temple administration of Jagannath Temple was realizing that how exactly certain sacred names and symbols associated with the temple was getting misused, and it was commercially used without their authorization. It was something compromising on the cultural identity of the temple. So basically they filed trademarks. With this, the three things which has got trademark, that is 2 word mark and 1 logo mark, no one can misuse these one symbol and 2 words without the authorization of temple administration. If they use it, then the temple administration can take legal actions against them. It is basically a step because in this modern world, temple's identity, which is again associated with the culture of India, that needs protection. It is something which is a very great step in that particular direction. Now let's understand what exactly and is the unique features of the Jagannath temple in Puri. So of course it is located in Puri, Odisha. It is also known as White Pagoda. Let's understand why do we call it as White Pagoda. If you see the image over here, the temple has a outer layer which has been painted white, and it has a very thick layer of plaster. This thick layer of plaster is applied to protect the intricate stone carvings over the temple, to protect it from the saline air which is again coming as it is located within the sea area. So, but why are we calling it White Pagoda? So, in 17th century, European travelers who were navigating the seas of West Bengal could see this white image from a very far distance, as this temple is again placed at an altar at a very great height. So, it could be viewed from a very miles away, and that's how sailors use it for navigation purpose, and they gave it a nickname known as White Pagoda. Now let's understand how exactly and what is the style of architecture used to construct this temple. So it has been built by a Kalinga style of architecture, which is a form of or a regional form of Nagara style of architecture, which is used to construct the temples of North India. We use Dravida style of architecture for construction of temples in South India. Then this temple has a lot of unique and lot of things which cannot be understood and described in a very rational manner. For example, this temple is worshipping trinity of three gods, that is Lord Jagannath, which is incarnation of Lord Vishnu, along with his brother Lord Balbhadra and his sister Lord Subhadra. So basically, in usually temples, what do we see? That again the images or the idols are made out of metals or stones. But in this temple, the idols are made using wood, which is one of the unique features only found in this particular temple of India. Then you will understand when and how exactly this temple was made. It has a very long, beautiful story, right? But now this temple was built in 12th century by Anantavarman Chola Ganga Deva of the Ganga dynasty, and that's the historical significance of this particular temple. Now, let's understand some other unique features of this temple. So this temple can be entered along the four cardinal directions, that is north, south, east and west. The eastern dwar known as the Singha Dwar or the Lion Gate, the western dwar known as the Vyagha Dwara, then the southern gate is known as the Ashwa Dwara, and the northern gate is called as the Hasti Dwara. Now, all of you know the iconic chariot festival, that is the Rath Yatra. During this period, Lord Jagannath, along with his brother and sister, come out of the temple and they travel in very huge chariots and they visit for a holiday to their aunt's place in the Gundicha temple, and they stay there for 11 days. And this festival is the most iconic festival because lakhs of people, not only from India but from abroad, they come and gather and see this a very iconic chariot festival which is celebrated in the months of July. Then there is other unique feature that again we have discussed about Ananda Bazaar, wherein Mahaprasad is getting distributed, but this temple has a very big kitchen which can serve lakhs of devotees. Now, how exactly the Mahaprasad is getting cooked? If you see this image, so they are basically cooked in earthen pots, right, and with the wooden flame. Now imagine, ironically, the food which should cook first would be the first pot over here. But again, the strange fact is the food which is getting cooked first is the pot which is situated at the topmost position. And this is no science to explain this particular unique feature of the temple. Then you will see that this temple has a very unique architecture, that the main temple does not cast its shadow during any time of the day, and there is no explanation for this as well. So these are the few unique features of this Lord Jagannath temple of Puri. This Jagannath temple is also considered within one of the four dhams of Hindu pilgrimage. The other three ones are Dwarkadhish, Badrinath and one in Rameshwaram. And that is where it is also coming under the four dhams of Hindu pilgrimage, which is considered very sacred for any Hindu to visit in once in their lifetime. Now let's understand the meaning of trademark. What are trademarks? So trademarks are usually intellectual property rights which are given to logos, words, symbol, phrases or signs, which is again protecting any good or a service, its unique identity. For example, you can think about a word Amul, it has got a trademark, then a logo, Nike has a logo, then a symbol of Starbucks, a phrase just do it of Nike, or a sign of McDonald's. Now, how exactly trademarks in India are getting governed? So trademarks in India are governed under Trademarks Act of 1999 and Trademark Rules of 2017. And they are administered by a body known as Trade Marks Registry Administrator. They are coming under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. So basically, the hierarchy starts from here. The first one here is Controller General of Patents and Designs and Trademarks, which is coming under DPIIT, that is Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, coming under Ministry of Commerce and Industry. India is also a signatory to Madrid Protocol, which is offering international trademarks. And that's the significance of trademarks and how exactly they are helping in preserving something's unique identity. Now, it is very important to understand that in this modern world, it is very important to protect the culture heritage of India. So this is where it's a very great step in which we have given protection to temple's sacred identity, which has been given to the temple administration of Lord Jagannath Temple. Now tell me in comments, what do you feel, which other temples should get sacred trademark identity in comments, which is there of course in a region. And please again tell me in comments ki what are the other unique features about Lord Jagannath Temple which you know. Until the next time, thank you so very much and Jai Jagannath.